I thank the Secretary of State for her statement, and we all agree that impartiality of the BBC is imperative and anti-Semitism is abhorrent. But can I ask the Minister, is it not enough that we have stood by as 48,900 Gazans have been killed? Is it not enough that we have stood by as 17,400 Gazan children have been killed? Is it not enough that we have stood by as 320 aid workers have been killed? Is it not enough that we have stood by as 162 journalists have been killed? Can I ask the Minister of State that does she agree that children, who was a narrator of this show specifically, cannot be held accountable for the actions of their parents? Or is this just an extension of Netanyahu's policy of collective punishment of the Gazan people?
Secretary of State.
Of course I agree with him that children can't be held responsible for relationships that they have, but can I also be very clear with him that if this child in question is related to senior officials in Hamas, then that is important context for viewers to understand, and not to inform the public about that falls way short of the standards we would expect of our national broadcasters. And can I just say to him too that we as a country have not stood aside while over 47,000 people have been killed in Gaza. My honourable friend, the Foreign Secretary, has made this his top priority, has been in the region several times in recent months. Just a few weeks ago, my honourable friend, the Minister for Development, announced £17 million in humanitarian funding to Gaza to ensure that we support the people of Gaza, and notwithstanding the very difficult decision that the Prime Minister announced at this dispatch box yesterday, we are committed to continuing to support the people of Gaza.
The days are long gone when people gained their news from the BBC and ITV. We now have a whole range of media outlets, many of whom do not have the same editorial standards as we expect from our national broadcaster. So would the Secretary of State agree that it's absolutely vital that we can actually trust our national broadcaster and they maintain the highest possible standards?
Look, I think he makes a very important point, which I don't think anybody's made yet in this debate, that the BBC, we expect more from them because they are our treasured national broadcaster, but there is a media landscape out there, and we've got to make sure that all of our broadcasters meet the highest standards, especially when it comes to this conflict.